Welcome to an ELAN original presentation. Today we are going to be going over Event Mapping 102. That is timers and how to use them. First off, let's cover refresher on event maps themselves. Event maps are our if-then statements. If /or equals event, and equals a condition, and then equals the commands we want to execute. What are the three types of timers? First, we have a run once system timer. It is a countdown timer that stops once it hits 0. A repeating timer is a countdown timer as well, but it restarts every time it hits 0. Repeating system timers continue to run in the background. They do not require anything to start them to run. They continue to run. Timed events are triggers that are at a specified time or offset of sunrise and sunset. Let's talk about a couple of event maps and then we'll go into configurator. Client would like the porch light on at 30 minutes before sunset. What is the event? Timed event, sunset minus 30. What is the command? Turn on porch light. Or another way of looking at event to command, timed event, sunset minus 30, turn on porch light. And if we do an event map to turn a porch light on, we have to do an event map to turn a porch light off. So, porch light off at 11 p.m. What is the event? Timed event, 11 p.m. What is the command? Turn off porch light. Or my other way of looking at it, event to command, timed event, 11 p.m., turn off porch light. Now let's go to configurator. Let's take a look at our two event maps we already talked about. The first one being the porch light on at 30 minutes before sunset. To do this, we're going to have to create a timed event. So we're going to go down to timed events, and we're going to right-click Add New Timed Event. We'll call this timed event sunset minus 30. These timed events, even though we're creating this one for a specific event map, can be used for multiple event maps. So now we're going to select relative sunset from our drop-down, because the type you have here is time types. You have relative sunrise, relative sunset, and clock. Default is clock, so we're going to change it to relative sunset. And we're going to change the time before to 30 minutes before. Now notice at the bottom we have delay days to execute. At the moment, Monday through Sunday is highlighted, so it will execute on every day of the week. We will select apply and then go create our event map. To create our event map, we right-click on Event Map, Add New Event Map. And remember, we want to name our event maps very, very specifically. In this case, it's porch light on sunset minus 30. So what is our event going to be that triggers this? That's going to be our timed event, sunset minus 30. So we're going to have to add our event here. Our event is going to be under timers. And the only one we have in there so far is sunset minus 30, and it's a timed event. Now that we have our timed event in here as a trigger, now what do we want it to do as a command? Well, this is going to be under lighting. And we're going to scroll down till we find that porch dimmer. Now you could use this to trigger a scene. I like to go to specifically to the switcher dimmer I want to control if I'm not doing more than one load. So in this case, we're just going to turn it on. And there you go. Now for the other event map we talked about, it was porch light off at 11 p.m. But let's change this one up a little bit. Let's make this a timed event that turns it off at 11 p.m. Monday through Friday. So we're going to call this 11 p.m. M-F for Monday through Friday. So we're going to leave it as a clock. We're going to change the time to 11 p.m. and we're going to only fire it Monday through Friday. So we're going to turn off Saturday and Sunday. In this case, the client is going to ask for the light to turn off at 2 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday. So that we have our timed event. We have to go up and create our event map. And our event map is going to be porch light off 11 p.m. M-F. All right, so our event to trigger this is going to be our timer's timed event, 11 p.m. Monday through Friday, timed event. So we've got our trigger to turn this on, so now we have to add our commands that we want it to do. And since we were in lighting last time in here, we haven't checked out of Event Mapper, we're still at lighting system, porch dimmer, and it's still at on. So all we have to do is select off. Now, if we wanted this timed event to fire a 2 a.m. timer on Saturday and Sunday, we would go in there and create our timed event. So we're going to right-click, create a new timed event. We'll call this 2 a.m. -M because actually we want it to fire at 2 a.m. on Sunday and Monday. So we're going to go ahead and set it for 2 a.m. as a clock, and we're going to turn off the other days. And click apply. Now from here, there's two different ways of doing this. I could easily make another event map called porch light off at 2 a.m. Saturday and Sunday. Or I should say Sunday and Monday. Or I can go in and edit the event map I already have. By having the events here for triggers, I can actually add another command in here. We can do this as another timer. And then I can add my 2 a.m. Sunday and Monday timed event to the same event map. So I might want to modify the name of this. So I'll go in here and modify the name and put it 2 a.m. Sunday-Monday. So I know there's two triggers for the same event map. Now either way, this just because these are or statements up here, either way works. I can do it this way or I can do another event map. So let's look at what else we can do here with timed events or system timers. Now, in last week's class, we talked about delay execution. So we have an instance here where we take security away and we turned the system mode to away. So we have this event map that when the alarm is armed in away mode, switch the general system, the system for the alarm system, to away, and change the door station ring color. Well, we can also have this start a timer, and after 2 minutes, when that timer expires, we could have it lock the doors, turn off the lights, turn off any audio video zones. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to add a run once timer. That run once timer is going to be called alarm away 2 minutes. Now, in this case, because a run once timer is specific to an event map, we want to say which event map we're going to be using it in the name. That way we don't mistakenly grab the wrong timer and screw things up with event maps. So first off, we need to go back to the original event map and add start timer. So we're going to go in here and we're going to add our timer. Alarm away 2 minutes. Start timer at And we'll get rid of the seconds and go to 2 minutes. So now we have our 2-minute run once timer starting. So we've got the event map to start this. We're going to have to do an event map for when this timer expires. By doing this, we can isolate this event map from the other event map that locks the doors, turns off the lights, and turns off the audio. There are cases where you could use a delay execution. There are cases where you want to use a run once timer. This, in my opinion, is one of those cases where you want to use a run once timer. For example, somebody goes to leave, they hit the away mode, and they forgot their keys. Or the in-laws call and say they're a couple minutes out. With this, we can actually do a cancel timer on the alarm being disarmed. So in this case, if they were to arm it and then go, oh, I don't need to go anywhere yet, I just need to disarm it, it would cancel the timer and not fire when that timer expires and turn the lights off and lock the doors on them. So let's go ahead and do the disarm cancel timer. In this case, we're going to do disarm cancel timer. We're going to add a message here because this is our disarm and all our events for it. We're going to add a cancel timer for the alarm away 2 minutes. Now we also want to do one for our security stay mode, which we had just changed the ring color. Because let's say you accidentally hit away mode on the alarm instead of stay mode, and then you change it. We want it to be able to change over and cancel that timer. So we're going to add that command in here as well for cancel timer. So it's timers, alarm away mode 2 minute, cancel timer. All right. Now let's create our event map for when that timer expires. We're going to call this away mode timer expired, turn off. All right, so our trigger for this is going to be that timer expiring. So we're going to go down to our timers, and we'll see alarm 2 minute away mode. Timer has expired. Then we have to add all our commands. So after 2 minutes, what did we want it to do? We wanted it to turn off the lights, so we're going to start in the lighting system. And I had already created a custom scene called all off, so we'll just trigger that scene button for all off. We want it to turn off the audio zones, which only have 2 zones here. So we'll just grab those 2 zones. One is my office, and we'll just turn it off. And the other is my theater, and we'll turn it off as well. And last, we wanted it to lock the doors. So we're going to go to door lock, and we have a couple options here. One's the front door, one's the back door, one's for generic door locks. We're going to grab the generic door locks and secure all locks. So this way, after 2 minutes of somebody hitting away mode on the alarm system and not hitting stay or disarm, it will turn off the lights, turn off the audio zones, and secure the locks. Another one I like to do is the garage door being open or closed. Okay, because we usually have a sensor on the garage door to say if it's open or closed. And if the garage door is open and it's after dark, I want it to turn on my garage light, which we've already created that last week. So there's our garage door is faulted. Is it daytime? No. Turn on. Now we did a turn off with a 2 minute delay execution. I prefer to do this with a timer, a run once timer. Because who's to say you don't close the garage door and then open it back up? In this case, it would actually turn off the light while you have the garage door open. So we're going to delete both of these commands and start a run once timer. So let's start our run once timer first. Add run once timer, and we're going to call this one garage door 2 minute. Notice I did these, both of these are a 2-minute timer, but they're named different because they're used in different event maps. I don't want to cancel a timer that's used in the wrong event map. So we're going to go back up here to door close, turn off lights, and we're going to highlight both of these. And I'm going to remove them. And we're going to add a command that's going to run this timer. So we've got our timer garage door 2-minute. Start timer at 2 minutes. Get rid of the seconds there. All right, so now whenever the garage door is closed, it starts this timer. We'll add a new event map. Called garage door timer expired. So our trigger for this event map is going to be our timer. Garage door 2-minute, timer expired. And what command do we want to have? We want it to turn off that garage door light. So we're going to scroll down and find that garage door dimmer switch and turn it off. So now that we've created the run once timer and the timer expires, we still have to go back to our garage door open and cancel that timer. So we're going to go in here and go back to our timers, garage door 2 minutes, cancel timer. This way, if you were to close the garage door and reopen the garage door within 2 minutes, the light would stay on. Instead of you close the garage door, a minute later, open the garage door, light comes back on, or it stays on the whole time, and a timer shuts it off on accident for you. All right, next up, we have repeating timers. Repeating timers are something that used for polling or to repeat in the background. So first one, let's talk about this one. We already did fire alarm goes off, turn on the lights, turn off the HVAC. I like to add on another event map to this with a repeating system timer that would actually flash outdoor lights whenever the alarm is set off. So if it's a burglar alarm, fire alarm, whatever, it will flash the outside lights. So let's create our repeating system timer first. We're going to call this alarm light flash. And how often do we want this to happen? Not every 30 seconds. I'm going to set it every 5 seconds. So the second I've done this and hit apply, this timer is running right now in the background. For 5 seconds, it's done. 5 seconds, it's done. 5 seconds, it's done. It keeps going. So let's create our event map called alarm flash lights. So what is our trigger going to be here? Our trigger is going to be this run one, our repeating system timer expiring. So alarm light flash is going to be our timer. Now with a repeating system timer, you're almost always going to have some type of condition to check against. In this case, we want it to check and see if the alarm is going off. So we're going to add our condition. And most people would grab alarms here. It's actually under the security system. So we're going to go to the house partition. And the partition is an alarm state. Basically meaning the alarm is going off in some way, shape, or form. Okay? Now we have to enter our commands. So in this case, we want to go to lighting system. We're going to go down to the outside lights. We're going to turn them on. And then we're going to turn them off with a slight delay in between. So let me go ahead and grab my other command of off since I'm right there. And now I'm going to add my general system delay execution. And delay execution, we're going to put in there for 2 seconds. Okay, now I need to highlight that delay execution and move it up. So now we have, whenever that timer expires and the alarm is going off, turn on the light, wait 2 seconds, turn it off. The other one I like to do is another repeating system timer. It's because my kids don't know how to shut a back door. They always just leave it open, and I'm not going to heat and cool the neighborhood. So I'm going to add another system timer, repeating system timer. And we're going to call this one back door open. And we're going to run this repeating system timer every 10 seconds. Because 10 seconds gives you enough time to get in and get out or shut the door. Okay? So our event map we need to add is back door is open. So what's going to be our system event? Well, it's going to be that timer expires, that our back door is open, timer is expired. What's going to be our condition here? We have to add a condition. The condition is security system backdoor zone faulted is true. Now what would we like to do? In this case, we're going to send a push message and beep the touch screen. So I've already created a push message. So I'm going to go to interface device, and I'm going to grab his, which would be my cell phone, and send a pop message of backdoor is open. Now remember, to create this pop message, we have to go up to messaging and create it. I've already created it for this event. We're also going to add, for the touchscreen, we want it to play an MP3 tone. In this case, it's not set here, okay, but it is set under messaging. So if we go to messaging, we can select a WAV file and play it on all tablets. So any user interface that's logged in, whether it's cell phone, iPad, or touchscreens in the house, will play this beep. And I will tell you right now, it gets rather annoying, and somebody will get up and shut the door just to get it to quit beeping. So now we have the pop message sent to his cell phone and a beep that's going to play on all the tablets. Now you could record your own MP3 or WAV file and upload it to the controller, as long as it's really short and sweet. And you could actually do a text-to-speech. There's plenty of places you can download it, something that says backdoor is open. And this is how you can mimic the alarm panels saying backdoor is open, front door is open, motion triggered, and actually record those and add them as notations in the controller. That is what I have for event maps. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to your local RTS. And thank you, and have a great day.